But right now, battle on the dunes getting started here. A very wide open map. Sandstorms rolling through the center here. And we start off with the red team looking at the Reborn. Skyborne's red team right here. This is a Mobula packing Mercury on its center. Artemis on lower deck. Excuse me, and a Gat Banshee on its top wings. Ship number 2 is the Helios, another Mobula with Merc on its middle. Artemis is on its lower deck, and Banshee on its top wings. Go ahead for the blue team.
All right, ship number 3, we've got the Trojan piloted by Hubs. We've got Hades up top. We've got Gat Flak bottom. We've got Artemis and Artemis top. And ship number 4, as we're underway with the action Bird Law, we've got a Mercury top. We've got Gat Mortar bottom. We've got Art top.
Absolutely, and getting into the combat already, ships have spotted each other and are starting to fire through some of the smoke here, as it looks like red team is going to hold their spawn right here. Same with blue team. Helios being looked at by Trojan at the moment. However, Reborn going to lay in a little bit of Mercury and Artery fire onto the Trojan, getting a disable on the Hades of the Trojan, and armor break as well already.
Indeed, and Trojan's hurting pretty bad right now. Talk to me a little bit about the strategy here, about what Trojan has done here. All the other 3 Mobulas have taken a Mercury gun, yet Trojan has gone a little bit different here. They're going with the Hades. Talk to me a little bit about the mindset, about why someone would take a Hades over a Merc right here.
Now, this is a situation where it's range versus brawn. Now, in most situations, the Hades is a superior choice against Mobulas. They have a explosive fire stack ability. Like those particles you can see flying by right now over the Reborn's head are very damaging, absolutely deadly in terms to a Mobula, because they do both damage to both balloon and hull at the same time and spread fire stacks, causing chaos for those engines on the bottom, taking down about 2/3 of the guns of the ship without even having to break them. However, what we're seeing here is some matches that are going with fighting at about 3 kilometers here. Each one of those grids is 1 kilometer in distance. So that means the Reborn right now and Trojan are about 3 kilometers, Helios about 3 kilometers from the Bird Law, and 3 kilometers is very far and extremely difficult to hit with a Hades. I got to give props to the Trojans gunner right now. They are making beautiful damage with some of that Hades fire, but it's inconsistent and extremely difficult to make. Mercury, however, is able to hit that range. They have a very fast bullet particle, extremely far range and low drop with a high armor trade-off. They don't get the balloon damage, they don't get the fire stacks, but they still have amazing long-range damage, and that accuracy is what's giving them the bonus in a Mobula v Mobula battle.
And by the way, they're pointing out in chat here, it's 500 meters now, not 1 kilometer on the...
Oh, it's 500 meters? Excuse me, well,
yeah.
1,500 meters. I was about to say, that's way too far to be 3,000.
Yeah, it used to be 1 kilometer, not now.
In another situation,
Yep.
1,500 meter with only spots and nothing else to go off. Same strategy still applies. It's very difficult to get those Hades hitting their marks, what they need. So Mercury does have the accuracy bonus and is doing the damage against the Bird Law. Not to mention, you get the shatter bonus of a couple disables, engine disables, and Hades disables of the Mercury and Artemis.
Bird is hurting right now. They're taking some perma damage. They've got their balloon on fire. They're not in a good spot right now. They're turning their back to the red team at this point.
Looks like they're going to take the opportunity with the Cloud to move behind some hard cover as Trojan limps back into battle here. Reborn and Helios engaging hard on the Bird Law. Trojan going to move up and see what they can do to help.
Skyborne clearly controlling the flow of this match so far. They're controlling the terms of engagement. They're hitting their shots. Looks like right now Mercury is winning out over Hades. And just as I say that, Hades is coming out. Missing more than half the clip, though.
That's right. Looks like the Reborn right now engaging on the Trojan. One more arbor break will probably do it here, as those Hades shots do seem to connect. Another thing that is weak for Hades long range, the Reborn does have the advantage of a Mobula's natural vertical ability. It's very difficult sometimes to get your Hades to hit when a Mobula is actively dodging him. You can see those particles are relatively slow and easy to see compared to a Mercury. You could kind of see from the Trojan right here that these Merc shots kind of come out of the clouds here and surprise the captain. Whereas these Hades are telegraphed, easy to see, and if you are able to move, you've got your balloon at full health, the Reborn and other ships can dodge. But
and
there
speaking
it
of which,
goes.
we got a ship down here.
Trojan does fall to Mercury and Artemis fire there as Bird Law attempts to get behind the engine of the Leviathan and get some hard cover.
And looks like he'll be safe for right now. He's under no threat at this point with his current position. So looks like we're going to hold until the respawn of his ally here.
That is right. Looks like Reborn right now gonna move on into the bird. Gonna move in on blue spawn as Trojan spawns out of view of the Reborn, but in sights of the Helios already. Definitely one disadvantage of Dunes is that a long-range ship can see your spawn from a very far distance and a very safe position. These ships have to be very careful where they respawn and how they approach situations at all times.
Yeah, and it looks like Reborn's going to get aggressive here. They're pushing in. They're going for Bird Law right now, showing no fear of what Blue can do to them at this point, showing no fear of what Steel Meridian can do. So let's see how this plays out, taking an aggressive stance.
Reborn right now taking a little bit of damage in recent engagement. Bird Law going to move on up, sitting at about 50% health. Trojan full and factory fresh right there. However, Artemis fire on the from the Reborn hits the Bird Law nicely, keeping those engines down as an armor break goes in as well. Artemis going to also damage that health, taking the Bird Law down to just a fraction of its health as Flak and Hades team up against the Reborn, attempting to get that damage on and pull those engines off the Artemis, which are so critical to the strategy of each captain.
And Helios is out of position right now for the next 5 to 10 seconds. This is where the Hades can do some damage if they can hit these shots.
Absolutely.
This is exactly the range they want to be at.
Yep, this mid-range engagement is very favorable. You can see these Hades fire, despite its lower particle speed and more difficulty in firing faster drop, it is much more effective at this mid-range. They're getting many, many more breaks on the Reborn and putting those engines off the Artemis. They get those fires around on the hull. You don't have to break the hull or balloon. You just have to get that fire stack on to distract those engines for as long as you can.
Indeed, however, Trojan getting the tables turned on them. It looks like they're in a world of hurt right now. All the focus fire going on them. Got some about 35–40% perma at this point. Not looking good for them right now. Not looking good for Blue at all.
Not at all, as Bird Law has been trying to play very cautiously. They know their health is low. They don't want to get focused by these mercs. Because at this range now, it looks like Reborn taking a bit of Hades fire. They're going to bite the pain right here and press for an attack on Bird Law, which they can't finish up. Bird Law getting its armor back up with just, I mean, goodness, I can't see that health bar anymore.
A minuscule, microscopic health bar at this point. They're hanging on by the skin of their teeth right now, doing some damage, getting hull breaks, getting, doing as much as they possibly can with how little they have right now. Got to give credit to the pilot over there and all the NGs. They're doing a great job keeping it together, keeping their team alive right now.
Now here at this mid-range is where the Mobulas of the red team, the Skyborne, have been able to compensate for the lack of a Hades fire. Those Banshees do the same thing as a Hades in the respect of spreading wonderful fires all over the ship, doing some balloon damage as well. So at those mid-ranges, they are very deadly and a good trade-off to Artemis, as Mercury now changes its position to what would be the role of an Artemis of shatter damage, disables, and breaks.
And this is not looking good for Bird Law right here. They're probably going to go down right here, especially with that Merc down. All they got to do is get a hull break, and yep, there they go.
And those Banshees from the Helios finish them up with a coupled hull break from the Reborn. Trojan respawning in safe conditions here behind a good cloud and about to go take the battleship position, a very good low vertical cover to give them some hard cover for the next engagement.
And if my stopwatch is correct at this point, we got about 12 minutes left in the match, 11–12 minutes here. It's 3-0 in favor of Skyborne here. Remember, Skyborne has the tiebreaker as well, so Steel Meridian needs to get a couple of clean sweeps right here in order to get back into the match, and almost half the match has gone by.
That is right now. Also, what I believe has happened is there a new engagement timing rule. Like if ships are sitting out of an engagement for a certain amount of time, do they now have a time they are required to get in the fight? Because that's what it seemed like in the last match. That seemed Exterminator was reminding everybody of that. I don't read my rules.
All right, but hey, at this point, I don't think that's going to matter here because I think we've got the engagement going on right now. In fact, here we go. Reborn is shooting at Trojan. It looks like we're going to have some 1v1s going on. Bird Law and Helios, and then Trojan and Reborn. The good news for Trojan is they're at the correct range right now to do some serious damage to Reborn. They could get back into the match right here, especially if Birdlaw turns on Reborn.
Absolutely, but looks like Trojan having a hard time keeping his Hades online as Artemis and Mercury Fire lock it down. However, that Hades comes up online and is doing the damage it needs, spreading some fire stacks a little bit, getting balloon and hull damage in there as well, spreading out those damage types and distracting just about all people on the ships. Helios right now engaging on the Birdlaw. There's both ships. No one at an advantage just yet. Looks like the Helios is backing up, trying to get that range between them as Birdlaw closes distance.
And meanwhile, Trojan's trying to push the action here. Although Reborn has stripped their hull and Trojan wants no part of engaging at this point, they're going to try to back up into hard cover. Trojan really trying to push the action here on the Reborn. They need to get this kill. This is a must-win situation. This is a must-win 1v1 for Trojan if they want to get their team back in the match.
Absolutely. Trojan pushing fast onto the Reborn's position. However, Birdlaw looking to be disengaging on the Helios. No armor break just yet on that ship, but they are disengaging and backing off as the Reborn now is in a poor position against the Trojan. Trojan matching its altitude and keeping up nicely as flak damage attempts to get a little bit of damage in there, but no armor break to couple with it. Hades Fire, however, taking its toll.
It's not a bad move by the Helios to back up there. Just get your long-range Merc, get your arts out, take pot shots, disable guns. If the Reborn goes down, fine. They're out of position to take you out. Otherwise, you know, worst case scenario, it's 3-1. Best case scenario, Reborn wins that 1v1 against Trojan and takes a stranglehold on this match.
Absolutely, but Reborn not going down without a fight here. Going to move back in as they do get close to the map boundary.
And Birdlaw pushing the action on Helios, and he's paying for it.
Oh, look at that. Birdlaw losing armor fast as Banshee's coupled down on the armor there. Breaking some, almost breaking the balloon there, spreading fire stacks all across the hull. 11 stacks of fire. That armor will break momentarily.
Yeah, it's broken, and he's in a world of hurt right now. That pushing in on the Helios. Not sure I like that idea. Maybe he should have gone back for the Reborn. Take your guaranteed 3-1 at that point. Now he's going to make it a 0-4 at this point for his team with this hull break imminent and the kill imminent at this point.
Very much so. Right now, Helios relying on Banshee and Artemis to get the armor break. They're staying above arcs of the Birdlaw, not using the Mercury right now. However, Reborn pressing on the Trojan, getting an armor break with Gatling as Artemis couple for explosive damage to get a kill there for the red team, flipping the tides on the Trojan. And
yeah.
Ooh. And there falls the last red ship as well. Both kills finished up at the same moment. Wonderful timing there by the Skyborne, and excellent play by both teams.